Our organization, Pivot to Peace, was formed 18 months ago in order to educate and mobilize public opinion in the United States about the decisions taken by the Pentagon to identify major power conflict, meaning conflict, especially with China, as the top priority for Pentagon military preparations, for military planning, for budgeting, and war plans. At the same time, as the Pentagon took this momentous step, the Trump administration and almost all of the mainstream media in the United States began a systematic effort to demonize China and to create animosity, fear, and hatred against China among the American people. And I would be remiss if I did not mention that the direct result of this campaign is the ever-growing rise in brutal anti-Asian violence in both the United States and Canada. And this is precisely what happened prior to other American military campaigns and wars. Evidence and facts were thrown overboard, while lies and propaganda were presented as absolutely true. And because they were repeated over and over again, they became accepted as a given truth. They were accepted almost as an article of faith, and in other words, a belief that did not require any facts or any evidence. The Trump administration launched an economic war against China. The Trump Department of Justice arrested Chief Financial Officer of Huawei, Meng Wanzhou, when she landed in Canada. American companies were told to cut trade and economic links with Chinese counterparts. And all of this happened without a real debate about the wisdom of this new orientation with China. Instead, they were presented hysterical stories about how China was evil, that it was oppressing national and religious minorities, that China was destroying democracy in Hong Kong. And we are told that all of these campaigns were designed to present the new policy of confrontation as a policy designed not for war, but rather to defend human rights. And these campaigns are continuing under the Biden administration. And this is the reason why we wanted to hold today's webinar. The Biden administration has continued a very dangerous path of misinformation where facts and real investigative journalism are sidelined for sensationalized headlines. Virtually every mainstream news media headline around China is designed to echo a specific narrative about China. And these days, we are bombarded with claims about what the Chinese government is doing to the Uyghur people in Xinjiang, which is an autonomous region in the northwestern part of China. The claims now have amounted to the unspeakable claim of genocide against a minority people. And Secretary of State Anthony Blinken vows to punish China for these so-called violations of human rights. But what are the facts? Is China actually carrying out a genocide against this minority Muslim population? Or is this one more demonization campaign waged by the US government against a targeted country in preparation for confrontation? After all, the US did insist that Saddam Hussein was a threat to world peace because Iraq possessed weapons of mass destruction and used that rationale to justify war against Iraq. There were no weapons of mass destruction, and that war that took more than 1 million lives was based on lies. So today's discussion will help us explore these questions.